Hi everyone, this is Casper the Boy Diviner here today, and I'm covering October's recap. Alright, usually I start off my recaps by talking about the feelings I've had this month, and I hope you guys know that these recaps are not only to share about my life to everyone, but it's also a log for myself. I think there are some things I can write in a journal that cannot be expressed without actually speaking. So sometimes I might be sharing things that are, might seem intensely private, may seem maybe too much for YouTube and for a tarot kind of channel. I hope you guys understand. Anyway, here's a timestamp. I'm hoping I remember to put this down so you can skip all this if you're not interested in my life, or we just want to talk about the books that I've read and the tarot decks that I've used, the tarot decks that I'm gonna buy, things like that. You can skip all the way to that timestamp. Okay, so this month has been a little bit of a roller coaster. I so I met someone who made me really happy for a short while, and if you are watching, you can just close this because I think you don't have to see me maybe misrepresent whatever we had. It's just that I just felt like the need I had to share my point of view and how what I went through and everything. Sadly, it seems like the thing, whatever it was is over, and I mean, a lot of it has to do with me and what I've done. Okay, I'm gonna cut this part out. Yeah, so if you are the person, you don't have to watch this because I don't want you to get upset if I'm misrepresenting what we shared. In any case, as a person living in Singapore, I've I've met many people. I have got hurt many times, and I'm kind of used to that kind of hurt. I kind of let it be. I kind of accepted it, and it helped me build a lot of walls around myself. And you know, dating people isn't easy, and yeah. So I don't really have a point. Basically, this person managed to get under my skin. They managed to make me feel wanted. They managed to make me feel like I mattered to them to some extent, and I let my defenses down. And I accepted that when you accept when you put down your defenses, um, you may get hurt. And we talked about this a lot. So I thought this would be a little different because we were pretty open with our feelings from the start. About we are not looking for anything specific. We were just gonna enjoy our time together. At the same time, I do feel like sometimes he has that notion of wanting to look for something more, and I keep downplaying it because I'm afraid. And this thing didn't even last a month. So basically, it started maybe 2 weeks ago, but it was a great 2 weeks. I really enjoyed myself. I really felt But anyway, so in our last date, um, he set some boundaries, saying that he doesn't want to know some things about something, and I crossed those boundaries by telling him about that. And I did it thoughtlessly. It just came out. I might have subconsciously wanted to. Maybe I wanted to sabotage the relationship subconsciously. I do that all the time, or or I really just wanted to try to, you know, make something that was heavy to him lighter. I don't know. Okay, it was just a thoughtless move, and after that, he texted me and told me that he wasn't happy about that. He was pretty upset that I did that, and I apologized. I took responsibility. I knew it was on me. It was my fault. And then he asked for space, and he never came back. So when he told me that he was hurt by what I said, it's been quite a while, but I felt all the tears rising up to my eyes. I never meant to hurt anyone, and I don't want to. This is not a person I wanted to hurt on purpose, and I felt so guilty. Um, And but again, this is up to him, right? I apologized. I recognized my mistake, and I told him, I will always try my best. Again, I try my best. I do my best, and then that was the last text I told him. Like, I'll learn from this and I'll do my best going forwards. Like, I've always done my best. Then it reminded me of a conversation we had, and he told me that me saying that when I'm doing my best, it's kind of a crutch to say that I will fall short of expectations, and maybe that's why that phrasing didn't work for him. But that's authentically me. I don't know about relationships. I haven't been in any, to be honest, anything long term. No, so I need to learn, and if one small slip up, one small mention from me has created such a wide gap, I can't exactly blame myself fully. I felt super guilty. I blamed myself for so many days. But ultimately, he doesn't want to move it forwards because of one slip up. And now whatever we had for the 2 happy weeks is over. I have to accept that. I just feel like I'm disposable. I feel like, I'm the trope, the manic pixie dream girl. I feel like I'm that trope. I always come into people's lives, and then I'm pushed out when they realize, I'm just there to make them feel better for a while. But overall, I'm super grateful to have had this experience. It was fantastic. I'm sorry I rambled so much about this, but it's such a big part of my month. I never thought I could feel this way again for someone, yeah, I think that's all I really have to say about that. Yeah, let me read you a quote. This is something I told him because he kept saying, don't be afraid. I mean, he told me be afraid of him. He can hurt people. And so I'm gonna read this quote by William S. Burroughs. There is no intensity of love or feeling that does not involve the risk of crippling hurt. It is a duty to take this risk, to love and feel without defense or reserve. And I think at least I managed to do that. I fulfilled my responsibility in those 2 weeks. And yeah, and now I'm just going to be tossed aside, without a proper goodbye. And I'm not asking for that. I know for a fact that relationships can be very fragile. So I'm not going to ask for anything. I'm going to just try to appreciate and be grateful for what I had. And try to heal. Okay, and then there's a song. I don't know if this is too dramatic. There's this song I kind of wanted to share with everyone, and this is kind of my theme song for my love life. How I always feel when people leave me, especially when they leave me hanging. Suddenly they're so busy or they need space, things like that. And I just wanted to share with everyone. I'm not a professional singer by any means, but I mean, just indulge me, okay? I just feel like doing this. If you don't want to watch it, you can skip to that timestamp that I talked about, okay? And the song is Liability by Lorde. Baby really hurt me, crying in the taxi. He don't wanna know me, says he made the big mistake of dancing in my storm. Says it was poison. Truth is, I am a toy that people enjoy till all of the tricks don't work anymore. Then they are bored of me. I know that it's exciting running through the night, but every perfect summer's eating me alive until you're gone. Better on my own. They say you're a little much for me. You're a liability. You're a little much for me. So they pull back, make other plans. Understand I'm a liability. Get you out and make you leave. I'm a little much for everyone. They're gonna watch me disappear into the sun. Alright, so enough indulging. I'm gonna continue talking about books. Okay? Alright, guys, the lighting and everything may look a little different because I took some time to get myself together. I got some coffee to put some pep back into my step after that, whatever that was. Okay, so now books. This month has been quite a productive month. I think it's just because I read a lot of fiction books. So fiction was my first love. I stopped reading them because I felt like they didn't bring much, practical knowledge or whatever people say. Like, is it practical to read fiction? What does it bring into your life? Honestly, like, it was entertainment, but there were so many TV series and things like that that kind of overtook that. But in any case, this month I read two fiction books, and there were two sequels that I've been looking forward to for a long time. So the first one is The Testaments, and this is by Margaret Atwood, one of my, I wouldn't say favorite, I would say that she's one of the authors that I look up to, and I read a lot of her books. Alright, some of her books are really bad and some of them are really good. I'm sorry, any Margaret Atwood fans out here. I know, for example, Katie Flowers loves Margaret Atwood. But I really didn't enjoy one of her older books, When the Heart Goes Last, and I just gave up on her stuff. But when The Testaments came out, as a sequel to The Handmaid's Tale, I had to read it, and honestly, it was a very entertaining book. It wasn't as good as The Handmaid's Tale because you know, it's more exciting, and some of the logic doesn't really make much sense, but it's more exciting, it's easier to read. I would say that, yeah, there's some like childish, okay, not childish, I'm so sorry, I'm bad with words. She has injected a lot of young adult fiction kind of feeling in it, with like a young female protagonist, things like that. So, to be honest, I still prefer the original version, but I thought this was still a worthy enough addition to the whole universe that she created. I was kind of worried because she had a say in the TV series, which I do enjoy as well, but it's kind of going crazy. Offred is now like a superhero. She doesn't get punished for anything, whereas everyone else gets punished for the smallest things. Okay, but this book, The Testaments, is worth reading. All right. Another book that I want to talk about. Okay, the other fiction book. Let's talk about fiction first. Is The Secret Commonwealth, and I don't know if any of you have read his Dark Materials. There are 3 in the series: Northern Lights or The Golden Compass, The Subtle Knife, and The Ember Spyglass. Everyone should read this series of books. It is young adult, and it's really easy to read. And it's about a world where people all have their own demons next to them. So demons, as in an animal that is you, but it's not you. All right, this whole thing comes from the Holy Guardian Angel concept by the Zoroastrians. So I think that's where he got it from. I'm not sure exactly, but I have this book also called The Holy Demon. I forgot who it's written by. I think it's by Scarlet Imprint, and it's really about connecting to your Holy Guardian Angel. So this whole series is about a world where people actually interact with their Holy Guardian Angels or the demons next to them, and they're not much better than a normal human. They are also learning. They are also trying to be better. It's very interesting. Any case, this is he started a second trilogy after this trilogy, and it starts with La Belle Sauvage, something like that. Anyway, the new series is called The Book of Dust. So I finished the first one, and this is the second one in that series. And The Secret Commonwealth, honestly, it's a very interesting story. I was hooked, I was riveted, and I couldn't finish reading it, but the ending makes me wish that he just wrote the second and third books together. But I guess for money, to make sure that he makes back his money and things like that, he decided to sell this one first. I don't know if there's a better reason, but it is what it is, and it was a enjoyable read. I still suggest you read from the start all the way to The Secret Commonwealth. All right. Some of my friends don't like how he writes. Also, I mean, the book has been accused of being like anti-Christian, so if you are Christian, you might want to think about reading it. But I don't think you should be afraid of Okay, no, I don't want to say anything. Just read about it, see if it's a book for you. I really truly recommend this series. It really makes me feel more like I really like the concept, and I feel like it can be applied in your spiritual craft, you know, like talking to your holy demon at any time, even though they're within us and we don't see them, but we still have them, you know. I love that idea. Alright, so non-fiction books. Okay, so the last non-fiction book, the first non-fiction book I finished this month was The Antidote. And I really love The Antidote. The Antidote is a book, oh gosh, I'm terrible. You'll see the cover here with the author, but basically it's a book for people who want to find happiness but they don't like positive thinking. And it's really boiling back down to, you know, the stoicism and Buddhism and all these principles that I believe in, you know. Memento mori, we celebrate death, we remember that we're gonna die at any moment in time, so we can appreciate every single moment we have now. All these concepts are so important, but it's easy to learn, it's not easy to inhabit all these principles. And so that's the next thing I'm trying to do. I'm going to try to summarize the book also in my private time to really try to absorb everything. The most surprising principles are like you know, affirmations that you can make people feel worse, and that's why I don't like the term affirmations. I prefer like if you want to do things, maybe manifestation statements that you kind of know, you know. Yeah, so, and they also talk about how long-term goals can hurt us, and it aligns with what I read in you know, the Chaos Protocols that I talked about last month. So I really enjoyed this book. The Antidote is a 10 out of 10. Everyone should read it. Okay? The next book I read was Indistractable. So these were the four I read this month. And Indistractable is a really good book. It's written by Nir Ital. I think that's his name. Again, I'm so unprepared. But Indistractable, the cover should be somewhere. And it's a pretty good book. He wrote Hooked. Hooked is how to make a product that people can't stop using. And then now he's writing the polar opposite, which is how to not be distracted by those products like Facebook and things like that. How do you stop yourself from being distracted? And he talks of, it's just very interesting that distractions only exist when there is a movement away from traction. And you only have traction when you know exactly what you want to do and what you're looking for. So at any point in time, if you feel very distracted, the fact is, if you don't have anything to do, or any goal, or any short-term goal or task that you want to do, you're not being distracted because there's nothing towards it. He also talks about how time management, attention management is all about pain management. It's about how to counter that pain, how to accept the pain of the task that lays before you. Alright? So like before I film videos, I always feel, but I have to do this because I want to. I know in the long term I want to, but of course I'd rather be laying on the bed, you know, binge watching Steven Universe, eating ice cream and crying my heart out, you know, because I mean, yeah, but I have to man up. I have to tell myself, you know, this is for my long-term goals. This is what I want to do. I know this all doesn't make sense because I just said long-term goals are bad, but not bad. Everyone has to read that book to understand, okay? Because I'm not a good speaker, okay? Not today, not at this moment in time. Okay. So those were the 4 books I read this month, and then let's go to decks I used. Okay. So decks I used this month, I think, to be honest, all of them were covered in weekly deck work, and I've been trying to use this deck the most, as much as possible. But with what has happened recently emotionally, I've turned to this deck, which I didn't talk about, the Otherkin Tarot, just because I felt like it's more of a peaceful, gentle deck, you know, with its watercolors, the lightness of the deck, how beautiful it is, how intricate it is. And then it still broke my heart with the reading, so that's why I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I've been taking a short break. I haven't been doing daily readings, to be honest, in the past 2 or 3 days. I'm just giving myself space, because what's the point of knowing that you're suffering when you are already living the suffering, for example, you know? Yeah, and And I'm going for so in Singapore we all have to go for almost every year. I have to go and be a soldier for a week. So in the upcoming week I won't be around at home. I'll be filming some videos in advance to for everyone, but yeah, tarot reading with people around you, you know, with guns and things like that, I don't feel like it's great. I'm still bringing a tarot deck with me just in case, but we'll see how it goes. Okay? But I really enjoyed this deck. Okay, then now let's talk about decks that are on their way or I've already received them but I have not used them yet. And only decks stuff. Okay, so one of the decks I received this week and I can't wait to try it out is and now I can't wait to show you guys also is the Tarot of Forbidden Dreams. What a beautiful box. And this is by Eugene Vinitsky and Elsa Katanunkowski. Okay, I'm terrible with my words again and pronunciation, so you can see it down there. And this Tarot of Forbidden Dreams is actually an erotic deck. I don't own an erotic deck, nor am I that interested in you know, men and women doing stuff. But I've always been a fan of Eugene. He's tarot creator on Instagram, and I'm really a big fan. Honestly, when I won, okay, so I won this deck in a giveaway. I was super lucky. I won this deck in a giveaway. He offered to send it to me, and before he sent it, I was really considering if I should ask him to just put one more deck in because I always felt connected to learning the tarot through the Magical Correspondences tarot he has, Tarot of the Magical Correspondences, and shipping is insane from Switzerland. So I thought I could save some shipping fees by buying it, but I was really having fun issues this month. I have overspent. I have to make myself feel better, I bought a lot of frivolous things instead of buying one big item like this one because small things make me happy, like this glue tape, you know. Even though I bought the wrong one just because I just really wanted to spend money. I bought the 1.2 cm one instead of the 0.8. In any case, sorry for rambling about that, but I can't wait to use this deck. I can't wait to show it off. I can't wait to do a walkthrough with everyone so everyone can see what's up with this deck. I've already taken an initial look and I really don't know in what circumstance I will really use this. So if you guys have any erotic decks or any explicit decks, let me know. I'm so interested to find out. Okay? Also, last year I backed a set of Goetia coins or Goetic coins. Okay, so they have come after a year of being late, and I don't blame the maker at all. He is fantastic. I think his name is Alexander Pitts. Oh my god, I'm a mess. Sorry guys. Yeah, I'm a mess. I just assumed that his name will be somewhere on the things that have been made, but clearly not. So I'm just gonna do. I think it's Arthur Pitsley. That's his name, Arthur Pitsley. All right. I'm not sure if he's still selling any of these. What do you call them? I don't know what to call them. Paraphernalia. I'm not sure if he's still selling them, but look at them. Okay, so I don't know if anyone works with the Goetia. People, when I took photos of this, people contacted me on Instagram telling me not to mess with the Goetic spirits, but I don't know. I mean, I've always been interested in them, so this is the first one I picked up. This is the name, and then this is the sigil. Alright. So there are 72 of them, and it came with many freebies that I didn't expect, such as this ring. And you know, I measured my finger, he asked for the size, and clearly I just picked one that was a little too big, but I guess it works. I'm also not sure about, you know, these sigils. So if anyone has any idea what these are, feel free to let me know. I will be trying to do my own research also. Okay, let me see if I can access and confirm. Yeah, Arthur Pitsley. So if you Google him, you'll probably be able to see this Kickstarter project, and I'm happy that, you know, I finally received it after a year. I have no problems with it taking a year. It seemed like, you know, the promised delivery time was way underestimated, so I do feel a bit bad for him because he kind of dedicated one whole year just to bring this to us. All right, and I'm happy with that. Again, also this month I've been trying to work on my alrights. The person I talked about earlier is the one who brought it up, saying that it might sound condescending sometimes. I hope you guys know that I don't have that kind of intention. I've never wanted to have that intention. So, still, it's a crutch word, and as a person who's trying to work on their speech, I accept that. I accept that feedback, and I'm gonna try to change. Okay. So that's it for the things I have. I can't wait to show this deck off. Really, really. Okay, now let's talk about decks that are on my wish list. Most of the decks, most of the tarot decks on my wish list are decks I already bought and are on pre-order and I'm waiting. So that just talks about how greedy I am. But I do have Oracle decks on my wish list. Okay, so the first one is the Archetype deck, the Round deck by Kim Krans. I have two of her decks already. This would complete my collection. I always never felt easy using round decks. I'm also not sure about the certain, the comic card in that deck. But this is a deck on my wishlist and I might consider buying it when the time is right. However, there are other decks that are on my wishlist that I think I would prefer working with. One of them is the Prophet. So the Prophet is by, I think, Khalil Gibran. I hope I didn't slaughter that name. Anyway, it should appear. It comes with the book The Prophet, which has been cited as one of the best books ever written. So I do want to read it, and because this comes with an Oracle card set made by his art and the book, I don't think there's an excuse for me not to buy this. I'm just waiting for Books Depository to give me a discount again, just because I couldn't buy it when they last gave me because of money issues. So I can't wait to get that deck. It looks so pretty. I never had a Oracle deck with a full sentence telling me what it means on the card, so I'm really excited to have that. Another deck I'm looking forward to maybe getting, maybe only, is the Yogic Path Oracle deck by Sahara Rose. I do like Danielle Noel's artwork. I just never felt called to buy any of those. Work Your Light, Star Child Tarot. I never felt that pull. I felt like they were all too light and maybe a bit fluffy. So no offense to anyone who likes it. It's just not my aesthetic. But the Yogic Path, I feel like it's so respectful because people usually draw their own depiction of Ganesha and or of Kali, and sometimes it gets things wrong. This deck actually uses actual statues of the deity and just adds backgrounds and colors and filters and things like that. I find that more respectful because it is a traditional depiction of them, and I can't wait to work with that kind of depiction of deity. The only thing is I'm not too familiar with the yogic path. I'm not sure about yogic words and the chakras and things like that. Those are not my modality, but I'm interested to check the deck out anyway. Okay, and then just random stuff. Recently I also got into journaling, so if anyone likes journaling, to drop me a message. I love talking about it, like the glue tape that I bought, things like that. Okay. Do I have anything else to say? Not really. I just want to thank you for bearing with at the beginning of this video, and let's heal. Let's get better together. Let's understand. Yeah, everything happens for a reason, and I accept what happened, and all I can do is be appreciative of what I have and what I got. Okay? So you guys have a great rest of the day. You take care. Bye.